सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति।
Our Upanishads teach us that the whole creation has emerged from that supreme Brahman. And Brahman is that formless, nameless, attributeless consciousness. It is aware. Its nature is consciousness, but it does not have any particular attribute like it is aware of the happiness or the sorrow. In the sense, is it happy or sad awareness? Or is it an awareness of right and wrong? It is simply awareness. Like electricity is free. Whether it passes through a red bulb or a yellow bulb or a blue bulb, the color that comes out of it, it depends on the bulb, not on the electricity. Likewise, this Brahman consciousness, which is our true nature, as we all know by now, is free from all vikaras. Vikaras mean any modifications. It appears to have got modified, but it never gets modified. It is always free. That is the nature of the self. From that self, as the Upanishad says, all the elements came into existence. Tasmadva etasmat akashat sambhutaha akashad vayo vayo ragni agnirapa adbha prithvi prithvya oshadayaha oshadhibhyonnam annat purushaha, it is said. How did the creation happen? In one small verse, Taittiriya Upanishad summarizes it, saying, from that formless, nameless entity, the Parabrahman, emerged the Akasha, the first element, which is space. This is not in science, they don't consider Akasha as an element at all. But in our spirituality, we consider that subtle space in which everything exists. Like this whole auditorium is nothing but space. Outside the auditorium, inside the auditorium, everything is space. That space appears to have been modified because this is inside the auditorium, that is outside the auditorium. But if you remove all the walls, is there a difference between that space and this space? It is not. Earlier, this was a football ground. Later, it was turned into an auditorium. Before becoming an auditorium, the space that was called as football ground seems to have been modified into a space which is now known as the auditorium. Its functionality has changed, its use has changed, the way it looks and what is done with it is changed. But the space itself has not undergone any changes. If I remove all these walls, it is happy to become football field again. It has no problem. It does not complain that I don't want to be the football field again. I like to be an auditorium. It doesn't think like that. So that is the idea, that God is unmodified. Like that, the space, the first element, space, is unmodified. The next element is air. Air is also unmodified. How? If it passes through a fragrant garden, it carries the fragrance of the flowers. Now, if the air blows across a sewage tank, it carries the stink or the stench of the sewage tank. But is it really being burdened by both the fragrance or the stench? No, air is free. And next it passes through another garden, it will pick up the fragrance of that and it will continue. It has no problem. When an animal breathes that air, it has no problem. Or the human breathes the air, it has no problem. Or trees breathe and breathe out, it has no problem. It doesn't say, I am very precious, I am very special, I am very sacred. I don't want to be breathed by animals. I don't want to be breathed by lower beings, lower humans, fools and illiterates and poor people. I don't want to be with them. I want to be with the rich and the mighty and the intellectuals. It doesn't say that. Air goes everywhere. It is free. Appears to be bound, but it is always free. Appears to have modified itself as a fragrant, scented air or stinky, stenchy air. But both are not true, because it just bears it for some time, but it doesn't really get modified in the true sense. So again, you see nature, which is born out of God, is very similar to God. Air does not get any problem if it goes through a garden or goes through a sewer. It is okay with both. Then look at the next element, fire. Fire does not have a problem. Put anything in fire, it will burn it. It doesn't say, no, put nice things only ghee and flowers and grains and nice things. I'll not burn dead bodies. I don't burn garbage. No, it burns everything. Put garbage in it, fire will burn that garbage also. So also it will burn sacred things that are offered. It has no problem. It appears to be burning differently when you put different things in it, but the property to burn things, it does not get modified with different types of things. It does the same job for everyone. Doesn't think of some as rich or poor or some as sacred or others as unholy. In everywhere, fire has the same. It gives light and heat to everyone who comes to it. It doesn't differentiate. A poor man also goes and a cold night, winter night, lights up some fire and then gets the heat from it. The rich man also benefits the same way. He may have a sophisticated system at home, a fireplace or something. But the fire's property to give heat remains the same whether it is for the poor or the rich. So it does not discriminate like God. Then look at water. Water does not discriminate too. Put it anywhere, it will go. If you put it in a tumbler, it takes the shape of the tumbler. If you put it into a pot, it takes the shape of the pot. You put it into a tube, it will take the shape of the tube. It doesn't complain. I don't want to be a tube, or I don't want to be in a pot or a pan. Wherever you send it goes. By gravity, it goes wherever you send it. It does not complain. It does not have a problem. Rich people also drink and get their thirst quenched. Poor also do that. Animals also drink. So it is for all, like God is for all. And earth, the final element, fifth element, it bears everybody, dharayati. It bears all. Animals also walk on it, humans also walk on it, saints also walk on it, sinners also walk on it. It gives food to everybody. It does not discriminate. It bears everybody's weight. It does not complain. It does not reject anyone. It accepts all. Look at this, how close it is to the nature of God, the self, which does not discriminate, does not get modified, does not have any preferences. It is same at all times for all beings. That awareness, consciousness is the same. And then comes this human creation of human beings. We have a mind. That mind causes all the trouble. Trees don't have a mind. Animals don't have a mind. They have instincts. There's some intelligence they have, how to survive, how to save themselves. But they're very basic. This intelligence of humans, which is the mind, which is full of sankalpa, vikalpa, it also has ahankara, the ego. That is the problem. Till sankalpa, vikalpa also is not a problem. But who is making that decision? Who is making that choice? I am making that choice. Who is that I? I, this body, with this name, with this position, with this definition, with these identities, doing things. That is where the problem starts. Before that, there is no problem. So this I-ness is the reason why we get stuck and we discriminate and differentiate and we treat some as better and some as lesser. Because we identify all of them with their body and mind. And the whole effort of Ashtavakra Gita is to help us establish ourselves in the higher idea of that self and not the lower idea of body and mind. As long as we are not convinced about it fully, we will never be able to overcome it. Theoretically, you can read it 1,000,000 times. But unless you are thoroughly convinced that you are not the body and the mind, you are the self, you cannot stop discriminating, you cannot stop differentiating, you cannot stop being partial to some. You cannot stop being nice to some and bad to others. You cannot stop desiring for some things and avoiding some other things. It cannot happen unless you are 100% convinced. 99.99% also is not sufficient. As I said, in my subject, the passing marks are 100 marks. Either you pass or you don't pass. That's how it works here. It doesn't work 99.99%. You have to pass. That's all I can say. Yes, you worked well, you have become better, but have you passed? No. Our passing mark in spirituality is 100%. You totally believe you are not the body and the mind, you are only the self. That's when you pass. Otherwise, you don't pass at all. So this idea that I am the supreme self and not just the body-mind complex is not to be understood theoretically, because then you will also practice it theoretically. You will be saying it with your mouth that yes, everybody is same, all are one, but deep inside you cannot feel so. You will definitely discriminate. You will have attachments for few, aversions for the others. You will want somebody and some things and you would avoid other things and other people. All this will happen because of that incomplete belief or conviction in the self. So what does Ashtavakra say in the next shloka? I heard all these nicely. Listen up. 15.8 shloka, the next shloka on page number 209 says, Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva natra moham kurushva bho jnanaswarupo bhagavan atma tvam prakriteha paraha. Shraddhasva tat shraddhasva. Oh dear one, develop faith, develop faith. Simply learning it as shlokas is not going to take you too far. Develop that complete conviction, complete faith in this, what I am saying, that you are not just the body mind, you are beyond that. Prakriteha paraha means you are beyond these things made of your nature, like the elements or even the mind and thoughts and emotions and intelligence. You are beyond all these things. Shraddhasva. Develop that confirmed faith in it. Not shaky, not weak, not feeble, not incomplete. Complete faith that I am the self only and nothing else. Develop complete faith. So he says, Shraddhasva tata Shraddhasva. Develop faith, oh dear, develop faith. In what? Natra moham kurushva bho. Don't be deluded here. You get deluded very easily because this is how we have been told. That the moment we were born, we were told this is who you are. This is who you are. Actually, if you carefully observe the little kid, when they do not know that that is their name, because if somebody addresses them, let us say the name of the child is Ravi, you will say, Ravi, come here, Ravi, eat this, Ravi, go there, Ravi, sit quietly, Ravi, do not talk, we say. The child also says to himself like that. Now Ravi wants to eat, now Ravi wants to go, Ravi wants to sleep. It says like that. Have you noticed that? Because it still does not identify that name with the form. It is still in the formless state only. The consciousness is so subtle of the child that it thinks of itself as something other than Ravi. Because everybody addresses him as Ravi, he also addresses himself as Ravi. But can you believe that that child actually knows that he is not the Ravi that these people are addressing him as? He is somebody else who is experiencing everything in the world. So he says, Ravi is sleepy, Ravi wants to sleep now. The child itself says like that. And that's a very surprising thing, but that is basically this concept, that the child also knows that who he is different from how people think of him. People think of that child as a boy by name Ravi, the son of so and so. But how does the child think of himself? I am I, being addressed by them as Ravi. So when he has to tell something about what that child wants, he also addresses himself as Ravi and asks this, Ravi is hungry, Ravi is sleepy, Ravi wants to go. He also talks to himself in a third person way. That itself is a proof that when the child is born, he is not associating himself with the body and mind. He is associating himself with the experience, the awareness that is experiencing through his body and through his mind. It's so clear actually in children. But once they grow up a little more, they'll say, what is this Ravi who wants to go there, Ravi wants to go here? You are Ravi. Say, I want to go there, I want to go here. Then the child gets confused. No, I thought that is how you people call me. Ravi, come here, Ravi, go there. So I am also calling Ravi, let's eat, Ravi, Ravi needs to sleep. But now we force upon that child this untruth, that if you talk like this, people will think you are mad. Tell that I am Ravi and I want to sleep, I want to eat. Now what you have done, superimposed and actually forced this idea of body-mind on that poor little child's consciousness. Now the child is going to believe for all its life that it is that body. It is the mind. Whose fault? It's the parents' fault. It's the people around that made him to do like that, isn't it? That is why Madallasa, the great queen, that in Markandeya Purana the story comes, she raised her children by not calling them by their names as the bodies and minds. She would tell their property, their quality, their true nature. Shuddhosi, buddhosi, niranjanosi, samsara maya parivarjitosi. You are Shuddha, you are pure, you are Buddha, you are aware. You are Niranjana, you are blemishless, sinless, guileless. Samsara maya parivarjitosi. This all maya, what he is saying here, natra moham, or the moha of the samsara, the moha maya we say. The delusion that I am the body, I am the mind and this needs to be enjoyed and this world is real and that is all it is. You are beyond all these delusions and illusions and wrong understanding and ignorance. Mother Madalasa sings to the children like that. And she says, Samsara Swapna Tyaja Moha Nidra. This world is a dream. Therefore, stop sleeping or stop believing that the dream is real. And give up this sleep, give up this ignorance of believing that this world is real. And remember that you, the self, who is pure, who is unblemished, who is ever free and aware, that is what you are. So she puts the name also. You can read the story, I don't remember, but she calls all these children by some horrible names so that they never develop any ego about the body. Suppose you call your name as some Yuvraj, you start believing you are some Yuvraj or something like that. Or you call yourself Tripura Sundari, you'll start believing. People, they put names like that. But she puts horrible names for all the children to make sure that they never develop attachment to the body. Once there was a music program of here, and these were all singers from Rajasthan who had come. And they used to sing this Sufi and that kind of music. So when I asked him what is his name, he said, my name is Kachara Khan. I tell Kachara Khan, is it your real name? He said, yes. This is what your parents put. He said, yes. I said, but why would somebody on earth would call somebody as Kachara? Kachara means garbage. That you have called, your name is garbage. Why did they put the name? So that I never develop ego, he said. Imagine an unlettered singer from Rajasthan whose parents, thought of such idea that the boy should never grow up and develop an ego. So they called his name only as garbage. So that all the time he'll remember this body is mere garbage. What else it is? That is how they think of themselves. They put their names in such a way so that they never develop ego. And they're always reminded of what this body is all about. Then if you don't want to associate with the body, good for you. Now tell, yes, that is the name of the body, the garbage bin. But I am the self. And that will help you to remember this truth over and over again. The other idea is to put name itself like that, you are the self. All these beautiful names are there. Achintya is there. Or you call it yourself as Brahman, or you call it yourself as Ishvara, or call yourself as Satya, or such beautiful names. That will also remind you that that is my true nature. That is name, not name of the body, that is the name of my nature. Some good name you should put so that you are always reminded of the truth. If you are too attached to the body, then put horrible names so that you never like to call yourself by that name. And you always distance yourself from that name. Or put some great names so that you are reminded of the greatness of that name and try to work towards it. So this is the idea why our ancients were very clever. So cleverly and carefully they used to choose the nama aksharas based on your jatakam and all that. They will choose the letter with which your name should start. It has its own effect. And then they will also choose very correct names to ensure that you are always aware and reminded of your true nature. So Kachara Khan's parents could think of it as a name, and he's become a famous singer. They sing that particular style from Rajasthan, you see. And he's quite famous. But he did not change his name. I've seen so many kids there, once they go to school, they complain, please change my name. This name is too long, too big, children are teasing me. You have to think of names in a way that it will remind you of some truth, of your existence. Either remind that your body is a garbage bin, or it should remind you of the nature of the self. Between them, you should choose the names. Either choose good names that you are the self, or choose bad names so that you don't ever develop attachment to the body. That is the idea. So he says that don't get deluded by these worldly things. Develop faith, 100% faith and conviction that you are the self and nothing less than that. He says, Jnana Swarupo. You are the very embodiment of the true wisdom of the self. Jnana Swarupa you are. Put a name like this, Jnana Swarupa. Such a beautiful name. Or put a name like Bhagavan. Bhagavan Atma, Tvam Prakrite Paraha. You are Bhagavan. Bhaga means effulgence, light, knowledge, wisdom. So you are that very embodiment of knowledge, that wisdom, the self, that illumination of the self. You are full of prakasha, you are full of illumination. That is what you are. And you are beyond this nature. Prakriti means the nature elements with which this body is made. You are beyond that. You are not that. Your paraha means you are beyond that. You might be moving around in this garbage can, but that is not your nature. You are self, effulgent, aware. That is you. Remember that. And how do you remember? With complete Shraddha, complete faith, not some half faith, complete conviction. And don't get deluded. Every time a new emotion comes, it makes you feel so good. Immediately cut it there, saying, yes, all this is nice, but this is not my nature because I'm not supposed to get modified. My nature is steadiness, equanimity in all situations. So what is this all excitement about? What is this depression about? What is this negativity about? Or even for that matter, what is this positivity about? Everything is not my nature because that is not I am supposed to be. I am supposed to be completely steady in my awareness and nothing else. So any fluctuations is not me. That alarm bell should ring within when your Shraddha is paripurna, complete faith. Ours is incomplete faith. That is why it keeps shaking every other day. One day we are very good when we are in good situation, everybody is around. But next day everything changes. Why? Because our faith is not complete. If faith was complete, then it will not happen. That is why it's such an important shloka. It says Shraddha, Shraddhasya, Shraddhasva. Develop that complete faith that you are the self and nothing less than that. Then let the world come to you. You will deal with it. But how many times even we heard, where is the reason for that? Do we really believe? No. Because as I said, vichara is important. Self-analysis, self-inquiry is very important. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Continuously, and the answer should be the same every day. I am the self, I am the self, I am the self. And that should not be a lip service. That should really come from inside. I am the self. If you get any other answer every morning, it means you have not yet got the faith. I am so and so, I am so and so. You have not got the faith. It should really come from the depths of your being that I am the self. The day you get that as the first answer in the morning, you have achieved. But I know every time we wake up, first thing in the morning, oh, I got this work, I got this to do, I will finish that, cook this, eat that, study that. These are the first thoughts, right? Where is the first thought that I am the self? Never it happens. Then we send you to Suprabhatam and prayers and everywhere, try to kind of remind that you are that higher thing and not these lower things. At least that way you start. But most of the people in the world don't start that way. Most of the people start thinking of themselves as the body, mind, and then social media and all kinds of things. So they always continuously reinforce this idea that I am the body and the mind and all this that people think of me. That is why Bhagavan used to say, you are not one but three. The one you think you are, the one others think you are, and the one you really are. One you think you are is the body, because that is the name given. You know, poor that little child Ravi, who still now thought he was different from that body, but now he's been made to think he's the body. That. Then second is the others think you are. Others know you not just as the body, they know you as your emotions, as your thought, as your personality, which is a combination of your body and your thoughts, minds. Is a good person. Good person does not refer to the body. Good person refers to the person's mind, his disposition. There is generally a good person, helpful, kind, considerate. That is a bad person. Bad person doesn't refer to the body. They will see his ugly person if he is not looking good. But bad person means his mind is bad. He is not a nice person. He doesn't help people. He harms everybody. He is selfish. That is what others think of you are. So the second person. Third one is who you really are beyond these two. Prakrite paraha. Jnana Swarupa Bodha. You are basically the wisdom personified. That is your true self, which is beyond the body and mind. That is what Bhagavan used to say. You are beyond the body and the mind. But how many of us believe in it? We don't believe in it. That is why we struggle. The belief in this idea is the most important ingredient for success on the spiritual path. If you don't have a full, complete belief in this, you will not go anywhere. You will not go with these shallow beliefs that I am self theoretically, but deep inside, I am so and so, I am daughter of so and so, son of so and so, husband, wife of so and so, child of so and so, brother, sister of so and so, worker or a office or a client or employee. Doesn't work then. It doesn't work. A beautiful shloka comes from our Kathopanishad. It's not mentioned here, but I just reading it for academic purpose. It says, how is the self? Can it be attained by any of the other tools that we have at our disposal, like the body, mind, thoughts, analysis? No. So it says, Naiva vacha na manasa praptum. By word we cannot attain it, cannot describe it. By mind we cannot understand or comprehend it. Praptum shakyo na chakshusha. With eyes we cannot see it. Eyes are incapable of seeing that self. So asti iti bruvto anyatra katham taduplabhyate. So when you cannot see it, when you cannot speak about it, when you cannot even think about it, how do you attain it is the question. Nobody can speak about it. Nobody can think about it. Nobody can see it. Then how do you attain it is the question that Upanishad asks and replies, Asti iti bruvataha, the one who says it exists, even though I can't see it, I can't speak about it, I cannot taste, smell, touch, all other senses included. I can't even think about it. That is how self is, because like eyes see everything, but eyes cannot see themselves. Likewise, self experiences everything. Like the eyes see everything, but they cannot see themselves. Like that, the self sees everything, but cannot be seen by itself. That is the idea. So it is so subtle. So how do you attain it? He says the only qualification is asti iti, the one who still believes that it exists. Because it is very easy to say it does not exist. That's why so many atheists in the world. Show me where is God. How is God? How tall, how big, how small. We cannot show them because there is nothing like that. We can show statues of some god that we believe in because we believe those gods come in different shapes, forms at different times. But the Brahman, the idea of the supreme consciousness, how do you show? How do you measure? How do you, does it have a length, breadth, weight, height? Nothing. It is just consciousness. Consciousness cannot be calculated. So what do we do then? How do we attain then? He says the very first qualification is asti iti bruvataha. Anyatra katham taduplabhyate. The one who believes it exists and says it that yes, it exists despite not being seen, not being heard, not being even thought of. It can still be experienced. The one who believes in it, to him alone, there is a possibility of that experience. For others, it is not possible, it says. And the next sloka also very nice in that only, in that Kathopanishad it says, Asti iti uplabdhavyasya tattvabhavena chobayoho asti ityev uplabdhasya tattvabhava prasidati. It means the one who believes that it exists. What exists? That self exists, despite not being able to see it, hear it, taste, smell, touch, or calculate, measure, weigh it. Despite that, book says yes, it exists. What happens to such a person? And there is this tattva bhava, the experience of the self. So I have not experienced the self, but I tell that I know it exists. Why? Because Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharanam. I believe in the word of the scriptures, I believe in the words of the Guru. I have not experienced it, but I believe in it. So what happens? There is one person here who believes in it, and then the self, the experience of it also exists somewhere. Now, between the two, the sloka says, the one who believes that it exists, that self becomes happy with this person who believes in it and makes him experience itself. When do we go and meet somebody? When we are happy with them, isn't it? When we are unhappy with people, we avoid them. But when we are happy with people, we go on our own and try to meet them. Like that, the one who believes that it exists despite not being able to be empirically measured, and still that faith is firm, that self reveals itself. Self reveals itself to such a person who believes in it. How beautiful the thought itself is. Look at the Upanishadic thoughts. It clarifies our confusion. I can't hear it, I can't smell, taste, I cannot touch it, I can't even describe it, I cannot think about it, comprehend it. How do I know it exists? Still believe it exists. Why? Somebody has experienced it and written in the scriptures. Some guru has experienced it and is talking about it. Develop Shraddha. Shraddha sakarita Shraddha yaya vastupalabhyate se. Sadbhihi yaya vastupalabhyate. Shraddha is about believing in something that you cannot see. If you see and believe, it is only a fact. It is only a fact of the matter. It is not something great to. If I can see that is a flower and say it is a flower, what's the big deal? But these people believe in Guru, in the scriptures. They have Shraddha. That is why he is saying, Shraddhasva tat Shraddhasva. Believe, oh dear, believe that it exists. And you are beyond this Prakriti. You are the Paramatma. You are the self. Believe. Because the moment you believe in it, that experience of the self will happen to you. Why? Because it becomes like as if it becomes happy with you. That you believe that I am here. And then it will reveal itself to you. So why the self has not revealed itself to all of us? What is the reason? You don't have scriptures? You don't have Guru? Does it not exist? Then why it has not revealed to us? Shraddha illa. What kind of Shraddha? Complete Paripurna Shraddha that I am that self. That is not there. Simple as that. That is why we wake up every day with this identity again and again. That I am so and so, my wife is so and so, my children are such and such. There are good people, bad people, healthy and sick people. I have work to do, I have this to achieve, that to accomplish. These were good things that happened yesterday and these are bad things that happen. All the time. So do you really have the belief? So this sloka straight away puts the ball in the court of the sadhaka. Says if you haven't experienced the self, it is not because that does not exist. It is not that you do not know about it because you heard about it from the scriptures. It's not that somebody has not experienced at all. No, somebody has experienced, Guru has experienced. Then why is that I am not experiencing? Why? What is the problem? Where is the gap? The gap is in your belief. If you completely, fully, firmly believe that it exists and I am that, it will reveal itself to you. So how powerful this shloka. That is why I took some time to stop and explain. Nisargadatta Maharaj is one Swamiji, we know is also known as BD Baba because he used to sell BDs. So he used to make that and sell. That was his main profession. And he had shops across Bombay, small shops where he used to sell these, and that was his main source of income. One day it so happened that one of his friends took him to a Swamiji, Maharaj. His name is Siddharameshwara Swamiji. And of Navanatha Sampradaya. There was a Sampradaya in Maharashtra, Karnataka border called Navanatha Sampradaya. They believe in Kabir Das, they believe in like that 9 different types people. So he took him just as a chance meeting. I'm going for satsang, are you coming? Let's go. So like that they went. He heard the satsang. And what did this Swamiji say? He told him, just focus on this thought, I am, asti iti. What Upanishad say, asti iti uplabdhavyasya. Asti iti, just focus on this one thought, I am. I am man, no. I am woman, no. I am old, no. I am young, no. I am healthy, no. I am sick, no. I am happy, no. I am sad, no. I am, that's all. Don't give any attributes to that I am. Don't give as happy, healthy, old, young, boy, girl, rich, poor. Don't give any of these upadhis, attributes to it. Just focus on this idea, I am. That's all was the mantra given to this man. And he says that he has never chanted a mantra in his life, never read a scripture, never did all these sadhana, puja, yajna, homas, yagas, tapas. He just followed his guru's this one word. You know what you've got to do? Just focus on this idea, I am. And don't give it any structure, form, attributes, qualities, qualifications. Avoid everything. Just focus on this pure consciousness, I am. And he started practicing it. And he attained it. So others got surprised that how come you experienced that and others are not experiencing? Because their I am was not pure. Their I am was with those tail behind. Boy, girl, young, old, women, rich, poor, not. All that he removed, just focused on this idea of I am. And he attained that enlightenment. And then he also later started preaching, but he never stopped selling BDs, by the way. Because he also he had a wife and children and all that because he had already married before he met the Guru. So he had responsibilities. And all he knew was how to make these BDs and sell. So he continued to sell the BDs. Of course, he reduced it to just one shop just to basically survive, that's all. He didn't want to make money and make a big chain of BD shops out around Mumbai. No, that was not his desire. He remained as it is, just one shop. Whatever was coming, he was eating and feeding with that. And he was meeting people who would come seeking his guidance. It became quite popular actually. But he died of throat cancer at the end of it. Maybe the BD karma was there. But he died, but he was not afraid. When somebody said, oh Swamiji, you are enlightened, you also got cancer. He said, I am the cancer. I identify myself with everything. All is me. Even the cancer is me. So you are not afraid of cancer because it is not something outside or other than you. You get afraid of something who is other than you or outside you. So he said, I am the cancer. That is the kind of clarity. I am not, either I am everything or I am nothing, says Ashtavakra earlier also. So he took the approach, I am everything. That self is everything. So when you say I am, all of us use this sentence, right? I am so and so. I am studying in such and such class. I am the son of so and so. Always we use this I am as the first part of the sentence and then we qualify it with certain ideas. This Mantra is don't qualify it at all. Just stop at I am and don't say another word. Don't think another thought. Stop at just at that I am. And let there be silence after that. And when mind will try to put some word or there, after that I am mother, grandmother, child, stop it, cut it off there. Saying no, no qualifications to this. Just I am is my nature. That I am mantra is what Nisargadatta Maharaj practiced. It's very powerful. The other day I said, just listen to the silence. Don't try to listen to the sounds. Don't try to listen to your thoughts. Thoughts will come like this, trying to, somehow infiltrate into that pure consciousness. Remove them. It will take some effort to keep dodging them away, dodging them away. After some time, they will stop coming. When they are not welcome, they don't come, these thoughts. It's like, a neighbor who is very chattery and troublesome. If you invite them, open the door, feed them tea, biscuits, he'll come every day and trouble you. If you close the door on that fellow's face, he'll never come again. He'll feel insulted and never come. Same thing you have to do with your thoughts. The moment you say, I am, close the door. No boy, girl, young, old, woman, rich, poor. Don't give it any gap at all. That gap, some thought will enter. Shut that door then and there. And then sit in that idea of I am. I am, I am, I am. That is all you have to do. Three things are there which qualify Brahman. What are these things? Asti, Bhati, Priyam. In that Bhati, Priyam also you remove. Only Asti, I am. That is Brahman. Aham eva aham avyayaha, says Adi Shankara. I am I, the indestructible I. Just hold on to that thought tight. Don't let go of that thought. And you will experience. How can you not experience? Because the scripture says so and you have Shraddha. So have complete Shraddha and practice this one idea, I am. And then you will realize that you are that. There is no other way. So if we are not realizing that, it's only because we are not able to hold on to that thought of just pure consciousness of I am. We immediately qualify it with some idea of our body or mind. I am beautiful, I am ugly, I am fat, I am thin, I am tall, I am fair, I am dark. That is, or I am mother and father and child and something, or I am intelligent fool, I am dull, I am something we qualify it with. The moment you qualified it, the purity of the thought is contaminated. The practice is I am, I am. That is the mantra that our Nisargadatta Maharaj practiced. And he achieved it. That is the beauty. So he says, Jnana Swarupo, you are the one who is full of that spiritual knowledge that you are. What are you? Nothing. You are, that's all. Then we say, I am that. But the moment I say I am that, I and that become two things. Though it is a way to say Tattvamasi, but that is only a way to say it. Actually, there is no that. That means something other than you. So the real truth is I am only. There is no that, this or them or us or nothing. No qualifications. I am is the qualification. I am that also is to be avoided. So Asmi. So that is the idea. And Gyara Swarupa Bhagavan Atma. See, Bhagavan in this context is that one who is full of spiritual effulgence, the one who is shining with that effulgence. Our Upanishads say, Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. There the sun doesn't shine, moon does not shine, stars don't shine, the fire is not there. As it shines, everything else shines. And its shine, everything else shines. That idea of Bhagavan, that self-effulgence, that illumination of the wisdom is you, in which everything else is perceived. That idea. But in Vishnu Purana, there is a definition of Bhagavan, just for academic sake. It says, Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasah shriyaha and jnana vairagyayo chaiva shannam bhaga itirana. 6 qualities are told for Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan has 6 qualities. That is in Vishnu Purana, which says one is Aishwarya. Aishwarya means endless, repute or fame or prosperity. Aishwarya means very, very rich and prosperous. There is nothing lacking for such a person. Such a person is Aishwarya. Then Samagrasya Aishwarya means all kinds of things are in his control. He is so rich or so wealthy or so powerful. Then Viryasya, courageous and powerful. Then Yashasha, of good name and fame. Shriyaha, of wealth, material wealth. Then Jnana, wisdom, Vairagya, dispassion. These are the 6 qualities of somebody who has been called as Bhagavan. When we say Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, these are the qualities we think of. Aishwarya, then Virya, Yashaha, Shriyaha, Jnana and Vairagya. Imagine the beauty is that this person has Aishwarya, means all kinds of prosperity and all kinds of things in his control. Then Virya, he is extremely courageous. It means he can go and conquer the earth or anybody. He can get anything that he wants. He has no fear. Yashaha, he has very good name. It means everybody likes him, everybody wants to be with him, everybody wants to be associated with him. Shriya, he has a tremendous wealth. Wealth of knowledge, wealth of material kinds, and all kinds of intelligence and so on and so on. It means he's really somebody who has so much. Also Jnana, he has the ultimate spiritual wisdom, but all of this comes with the sixth quality of Vairagya, dispassion. That is what I say. If you look at this Bhagwan, so much he has built, school, education, water projects, school, how many hundreds of crores he has spent, he might not have even kept account. That much Aishwarya, Shriya, that much Virya, to courage to take up such tremendous projects, no fear. Then Yashaha, good name, so many people worship him and adore him. And Jnana, he is full of spiritual wisdom, but dispassionate about all of it. He doesn't want any of it for himself. That is why he gets everything. The day he wants it, he won't get it. That is the idea of these Bhagavans. They have everything, yet they are not attached to any of it. And because they are not attached to it, that is why these things keep coming back to them. That is the law of nature. You don't want it, it comes to you. You want it badly, it doesn't come. So these Bhagavans are like that, who are totally dispassionate about all the wonderful things that an ordinary man craves and cries and strives for. Yet they cannot get it because they are attached and they are passionate about it. Whereas these people have everything, yet they are unattached to the whole thing. That is Bhagavan. So he says Janaka is a king, right? He has prosperity, name, fame, courage, all that. But he also is teaching, you also have the wisdom of the self and also the dispassion for the world. Remember that. You might have the Aishwarya, Virya, Yashaha, Shriyaha, all that is fine. But Jnana Vairagya is also part of you. Be like that, beyond the whatever entanglements of this nature. That is the body and the mind. So this is an amazing shloka you must remember. And whenever you don't experience anything, tell yourself, Shraddhasva tat Shraddhasva. Develop faith, develop faith, develop faith that it exists. Develop faith that I am that. Develop faith. That is the key to opening the door. The next shloka 15.9 on 211, it says, Gunaihi samveshtito deha tishthat ayati yati cha atma na aganta kimenam anushochasi. Which means, this body, deha, gunaihi samveshtito, this is ensnared by the gunas, the instincts, the tendencies, the aptitudes with which you are born. Some people are born singers, some people are born, other like prodigies, sports or so many other ways. They are born like that. Nobody taught them. I've seen children 3-year-old, they are prodigies. They can play piano, they can sing songs, they can remember so much. And many of these kids have finished their education, graduation, post-graduation within 13, 14 years. Something is different about them. Like Adi Shankara, born to be a Jnani. In 8th year, he has given up his world of family and walked away. So not every child does that, right? So something in them is there which is inbuilt. And that inbuilt thing is guna. And generally, these gunas are classified into Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. Last time we saw that Buddhi is also 3 kinds. Sattva is pure thoughts. Rajas is passionate, selfish thoughts. And Tamas is lazy, selfish but also lazy, doesn't want to work. Rajas, selfish but works. Sattva, works but not selfish. That is how these 3 are. An amazing combination of this is what the whole world is. Some days we are good, some days we are selfish, some days we are lazy, depending on which thought or which guna is actually dominating us that time. We experience all the 3 gunas during the day. 8 hours each is what I have already told. Our schedule is described like that, right? Morning 4 to morning 8, evening 4 to evening 8 is Sattva Kala. Means it's a pure time. When day and night meet, that is the pure time. That time you should do pure things like remembering God, chanting good mantras, meditating, engaging in spiritual and good activities, purifying yourself. That is why our schedule is like that. Morning 4 to 8 you are in prayers and doing all the right things, good things. And evening 4 to 8 again you come in prayers. And morning 8 to 4, 8 hours is Rajas Kala. That is the time for activity because sun is up, sun and our bodies are all connected. We are born out of the nature. So all the nature becomes active. We also should become active. So morning 8 to 4, you have to be very active. That is why your classes and all the activities are generally contained within 8 to 4. And night 8 to 4, early in the morning, that is tamasic kala. The kala where your mind body needs to rest. Inertia is a natural way of your body and mind at that time. That time you should not activate your body mind, because that is the time when darkness comes, this melatonin gets secreted. The body responds to the nature. And the moment you wake up, cortisol starts getting secreted. So these are the two things that will control your activity or your inertia. So melatonin is getting secreted the moment sun goes down. It's the body's reaction. It wants body to sleep. But we keep awake till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., eat at 12 o'clock, ruin our health, and then get into hospitals with all kinds of issues. That is because we are not following the nature's pattern, the circadian rhythm, the law of the nature. Somebody said, live like birds, wake up with birds and sleep with birds. That is the best way to live one's life healthily. Wake up when birds wake up. Just first rays of sun, birds are up. The moment sun goes down, all are back to their trees. No more activity. That is how one should live. If one lives like this, as per the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas rule, they will not fall sick. They will live long and healthy. But we have all, after the advent of electricity and social media and internet and communication, we go on doing things till late into the night. The best sleep, they say, is what you get before 12 midnight. That is the best sleep, that 3-4 hours. So try to sleep early. That is why our rules are like that. You sleep early, wake up early. But nobody likes it. Why? Because by nature we are tamasic. We are people who want to do our own thing. So that is why we spoil our health. So much of lifestyle diseases, all this is result of this wrong discipline. So yes, body is bound by guna. Body needs to follow gunas. There is a Rajasic Kala, body needs to get up and act. Tamasic Kala, night, body needs to sit down and rest. Then Sattvic Kala, body needs to engage itself in good, pure activities. That is how one should lead one's life. Simple as that. And Indian thought was always very much disciplined. They always had time for everything, and everything was done at the right time. So he says body is bound by the gunas, including gunas which are, if you are too dominant, your rajas is too dominant, you will be very hyperactive. You will keep doing something or the other. You can't sit quiet. Even in the middle of the night, you are wide awake. You sleep very little, you jump around, you keep running around. That is your nature. That is because you are too much rajas. Sattva people will have moderate rajas, moderate tamas. Largely sattva means they engage in pure activities, meditation. They are happy being themselves, not talking too much, not eating too much, not sleeping too much, not active too much. Everything is in moderation. And tamasic people, just opposite rajas. Always lazy. They have to drag themselves to every place. To get one thing out of them done will take years. They don't do it with heart. They don't put efforts. All the time sleepy, drowsy, lazy, inert, dull. That is their nature. We need all the three in balance to survive and keep our bodies and mind healthy. But anything goes out of balance, it leads to all the trouble in the world. So he says, body is bound by gunas. So don't try to be too harsh on your body. Because body, some people take to austerities, right? No, I have to develop sattva guna. I will not eat for the next 7 days. I will not sleep for the next 10 days. I will only meditate. People take up all kinds of things. He says all that is unnecessary. Body has to follow the pattern of gunas. Let it follow. Just make sure that it is not too much of in excess. Moderation you follow. Then, so what does this body do? Tishtati, it stays. Ayati, it goes. Yati, it comes. All these activities body is doing. It is all because of the gunas inside the body. When you sleep, when you wake up, when you eat, when you sit, when you walk. Atma, but the Atma, the self within, is na ganta, na aganta. It is not the one which goes or comes. Body is moving around. But your self is not moving around, is what he is saying. Differentiate between the two. Body is getting up, doing its activity. Suddenly it's the Rajasic time, wants to go play, study. Then Tamasic time, feeling sleepy, dozes off. Or Sattvic time, attends prayers. All these body is doing because it is bound by the nature of gunas. Where is you located? He says you are not moving at all. You are the same self, na ganta, na aganta. The one which does not go, which does not come. And kim enam anushochasi. So do not grieve over what is happening on the side of the body, because you are unaffected by all the movements of the body. Even a sannyasi who thinks I have to attain God, he is also deluded. I have to attain some Brahman is also deluded. Of course, it is the beginning of the process. Like for a primary school child, you will tell sun rises in the east and sets in the west. He must write that as the answer. Suppose the sun rises in dash, sets in dash. What does he feel? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. He cannot interchange it, or he cannot write sun does not rise and set. For his syllabus, for his understanding, this is what it is. But when he grows up, he realizes that sun does not rise and set. It's the earth that is rotating, revolving. So these days and nights are happening. That answer will be right for that class. Likewise, for the beginners, it is important to know that I have to attain that realization. But the advanced people, they already know that they are the self. They don't need to realize anything. You are that. So for those young, immature beginners, the novices, scriptures have told, try to overcome body, mind, and try to realize that you are that self. I am. Don't be deluded by all this body. The same idea he is telling. Don't be deluded by this body and what it does. You are not that. You dissociate yourself from that. Body is like a machine, it's like autopilot. It's like a software which has been loaded. Now it will keep producing that left, right, center, because it is, once you automate a machine, you switch it on, it keeps doing its job. Like that, his body is doing its job. You go to these mills are there. The flour mills are there. You put this much of wheat grains in it will keep producing that much of flour. Once you switch it on, it keeps running. You don't have to do anything about it. Like that, this body which has been fed with these ingredients of gunas, of rajas, sattva, tamas, it does its job accordingly. Some people are too lazy, some people are too active, some people are too nice, some people are too harsh. It is part of the body, it will keep doing its own stuff. Don't you get deluded by that. You are the self which remains unaffected. Like the electricity is unaffected by the machine that is producing the flour. Likewise, you are unaffected. You don't change, you don't move, you don't go anywhere. You are the self. Like, as I always say, if a wheel is moving and there is an axle remains steady. The wheel moves. Like that, your body is moving, doing so many things. You are that self steady, never moving. But because of you only the body exists. If you don't exist, body does not exist. Self only makes the body come alive and act. But you don't get involved with it. You don't start emoting with it. You don't get carried away by all that is happening in the body. Body is hungry, it will eat. Are you hungry? No, self is not hungry. Self is never hungry. Body is sleepy, it will sleep. Is the self sleepy? No. Body is tired? Yes, it will rest. Is the self tired? No. Like that. Like your computer may get heated up. It needs to rest, you'll switch it off. Is the electricity tired? Electricity is not tired. Computer got tired because its hardware got heated up. So you have to shut it down and cool it for some time. Likewise, body will go through its motions. It will grow. It will shadvikaras, aste, jayate, vardhate, vipridamate, apakshiyate, mriyate. It's born. It will grow. The reversal will happen. You will become old. You will die at some point in time. Body will go through it. But do you also become old and die? No, you don't. Computer may crash and go. Electricity is not crashed. This hardware and software. Hardware of the computer is like the body. Software is like the mind. Mind makes the hardware work. Mind thinks, let me go and enjoy that nice samosa. So it will take you to the shop, it will make you buy. And eat and then feel good. So mind is the software which is running the hardware of the body. But electricity is free from both. Sometimes software gets corrupted, you get bad thoughts, you do bad things. The hardware also gets accordingly corrupted. And crashes, system crashes, virus gets in. Our body crashes. But the self, which is like the electricity, does not crash. It appears to go through all the motions of the computer and the software, but it actually is unaffected by that. That much logic we can understand, right? All of us. So that is the idea. Your self is not going anywhere, not coming from anywhere, not going through the motions of the body. It is steady only. It's the body, the hardware, which goes through whatever activity based on the kind of software that has been fed into it. Software is the gunas. So you do things accordingly. But you remain dissociated with this. Be careful. Don't get associated with this body-mind thing. And therefore, there is no need to grieve. Ayo, I've got this terrible body, terrible gunas, what will happen to me? Nothing will happen to you. You are free from all these things. Don't associate with them, that's all. The moment you associate, you will get into trouble. The moment you develop an attachment or a relationship with anybody, you start emoting. If you know that person, there are hundreds of patients in the hospital right now. Some are doing well, some are not doing well, some will survive and go back home, some are going to die. Are you affected by all of this? Suppose it was your brother who was in the ICU right now. Would you be able to sit quiet here and listen to Ashtavakra? No, because you have associated yourself with that person. Now his good and bad, it all becomes your good and bad. As long as you are not associated, you are not affected by it. If somebody is sick, you will at best you will pray, okay, let him become all right. That's it. But if it's your own blood relation or somebody known to you or somebody whom you love is in trouble, you get affected, you get restless, you get agitated. Likewise, this is saying, don't associate yourself with your own body and mind. Mind will be happy one day, sad another day. Body will be healthy one day, sick another day. Don't associate with that. You are the self, which does not get entangled and affected by any of these. Again, as I said, is it easy to realize? No. But what is the way? Believe. Shraddhasvatat Shraddhasva. Believe what I am saying is true. Believe that this is true. And if you truly, truly believe, definitely you can experience this. That is our scriptural truth. And as I said, if it was only Ashtavakra who said that once upon a time, I can doubt his wisdom. But this was told by so many rishis across so many time zones, across centuries. So how can it go wrong? Including in the recent ones like Nisargadatta Maharaj, who didn't even read the scriptures, who just followed one word, I am, and got what he wanted. So it is possible. So he's saying, try to dissociate yourself from the ideas of emotions and the activities of the body. Try to be a witness to your own self, watching your own self. That is the best way to distance yourself. That is the first step only. First step is to distance yourself from the motions of body and mind. Distance yourself by becoming witness to your own things. And then slowly dwell in that idea of I am by cutting off all attributes and qualifications of that I am. So these are the things that you must believe in. I'll go to the next shloka, 15.10. It's on page number 214. It says, now once you have gotten rid of this body consciousness and this idea of wanting to experience the body and experience the goods and bads of the body or experience the goods and bads of the mind, then how does it matter whether the body is here today or dies tomorrow? Because anyway you are not the body, so why are you associated? So your way of cross-checking your faith is, are you still scared of death? If you are not, then you have believed, you have developed this full conviction. If you are still afraid of death, if I die tomorrow, what will happen? Or who will look after all these people who are dependent on me? These ideas start haunting you, it means your faith is not complete. So here in this shloka he says, Dehas tishtatu kalpantam gachatva dyaiva va punaha kva vriddhi kvacha va hanihi tava chinmatra rupinaha. He says, let the body be here for kalpantam, till the end of kalpa. Now kalpa is one day of Brahma, which has so many Mahayugas, Manvantras like that. Now we have a timeline. It's very confusing. I never got into that because, as I said, what is the point knowing about all these details? But it means for millions of years also let the body be there. You live forever. Let us say you live for a very, very long time. Or if the body goes away now and here today, whatever happens, where is the gain or loss for you? Because you are not the body in the first place. Where is the gain or loss for you? Because you are chinmatra rupaha. Chin means chit, awareness. You are always aware of your true self. So how does it matter if your body lasts 100 years or 1,000,000 years or 1,000,000,000 years, all till the end of the creation? How does it matter? Or whether it dies today and disappears today? Why should it matter to you? Because where is the loss and gain for you? You are never the body. You are never one. You are always free. You are the self. You are the eternal one. You are the always aware one. Then where is the question of you having any loss or gain? For us, everything ends with the body. If the body dies, we all are very scared. Oh, what will happen if I die? My children, my family, my businesses, my things. All this scares us and does not allow us to die also in peace because we are always worried about these things. But if you have developed this idea, then where is the desire to go on living unnecessarily? Or where is the desire to not die, in the sense avoid death? If death has to happen as a natural course of things, let it happen today only, let it happen. What is the big deal? This is the attitude of a jnani. That's why they are so fearless. They're so fearless because they don't care. That day somebody was telling, I told Gyanis don't care. But that's not a good idea. You are careless. I told, no, Gyanis are not careless. When Gyanis don't care, they become carefree. When Agyanis don't care, they become careless. There is a big difference between the two. Careless means you are very casual, you are not attentive and you get into trouble. Carefree means you are attentive, but you are not affected. That's two different attitudes they are. Both don't care. A fool also does not care but gets into trouble. A wise person also does not care but he is free. So carefree versus careless is the issue. So he says that how do you care whether the body lasts only till this night or stays for another 100 years? How does it matter to you? Because anyway you don't die with the body. That is the concept that he is trying to re-emphasize. It is not for Janaka, it is for us who have heard 15 chapters and still not gotten over our fears of death and body. There are some people are there. Many times I meet a lot of people. Whom do I get to meet? I get to meet people who are in trouble most of the time, because that is why they come to me to solve their problems. And one trouble that bothers them is if they have any sickness like a terminal illness, they are very scared. Because if they are young especially, suppose they are old, then they anyway accept it as their fate that today or tomorrow this is going to happen. Better today than tomorrow. But for young ones it is very difficult because they have so many desires left to be fulfilled. Their children are very young, they just got married, their parents are dependent on them, they just started a business, took a lot of loans, and so they start worrying. If something happens to me, who is going to look after all these things? What will happen to the people after me? This, that, this, they get very scared. Why? Because they think that all this is because they think they are the body, and without body, none of this will work. So I tell them that, see, nothing is in your control. If it was in your control, I would have told press these 1, 2, 3 buttons and you will be able to take care of it. It is not in your control. When you are born, when you are going to die is not in your control. Once in a while, miracles may happen that your life gets extended. Markandeya caught hold of Shiva. Shiva extended his life. That's fine. But that is not everyday thing. Don't take it for granted that if somehow miracle will happen, I'll go on living. Rather, you develop this fearlessness of death. Who says that I don't care if I die today or I die after 100 years. Anyway, it's all under God's plan. And I, per se, am not this body. So how do I even get affected by it? Somebody dies somewhere, as I said, unknown to you. Are you affected? Now we are talking in these last 1.5 hours. How many people have died? How many places? How many people are born also? Are you affected by their birth and deaths? No, why? Because you are not associated with them. You don't think of them as you or yours. So you are not affected. Same thing you apply now. Naham deho, name deho. I am not the body is not mine. Then why should you get affected by what happens in the body? Then let the body die today. How does it matter? No, what about the loans? We will see. Banks will write it off. What else they'll do? You are not there. So who will pay the loan? No, my wife. Wife will say, my husband took the loan, not me. She will be safe. Don't worry. They'll take away the assets, my children's education, future. What will happen to them? I said, the one who brought your children into the world will only take care of it. You are only an instrument. We know that you didn't bring the soul. You brought the body. You only bought the packaging. You didn't bring the content inside, right? The one who brought the content will look after it, will protect it, safeguard it. Why do you bother? So that kind of detachment is extremely important. Otherwise, Haritini Mishad Kalasan, who knows who will live, who will die tomorrow? Can anybody say, I'm not going to die tomorrow? Who has that guarantee? Can anybody give that guarantee? Nobody. What is the point in just believing that nothing will happen to me, nothing will happen? No, anything can happen to me, but nothing will happen to me. In the sense, anything can happen to the body, mind, but nothing will happen to the self. With that feeling, if you live, there is no fear. Otherwise, we'll go on living in fear, trying to hold on, to latch on, to cling on to things for our security or whatever. I'm not saying you should not plan. Today, what is meant to be done, do that. Today, you are meant to save some money for tomorrow's requirement, save it. But tomorrow, will you use it or not? There is no guarantee. When the Dharmaraja, he had a bell outside his palace, which anybody could ring and ask for justice. So one night, much after the court was over and he was about to retire, somebody was ringing the bell. And who was ringing the bell? A Brahmin, it seems. Dharmaraja said, it is so late in the night, what will I go and address you to? He told Bhima, go and tell that whoever is ringing, come tomorrow morning to the court and I will resolve your issues, I will give justice. So Bhima said, okay, I will tell him. So then he went and told the Brahmin. Brahmin went away. Then again the bell started ringing. Now this time Bhima was ringing the bell, it seems. So Dharmaraja asked, "What happened, brother? What is wrong with you? Why are you ringing the bell?" He says, "I want to have justice." What kind of justice? How come that you only have conquered death? Why I have not conquered death? How is that you know that you will live tomorrow and I don't know that I will live tomorrow? He said, "What are you saying?" He said, "Just now you told Brahmin, come tomorrow. It means you are very sure that you will be alive tomorrow. That is unfair." Then Dharmaraj understood. He called back the Brahmin and did what was needed to be done. Who knows, we'll be here tomorrow. We make promises, build castles in the air, make big, big plans. Who knows we are here tomorrow or not here tomorrow? Who knows? Rather, we live today happily, contentedly, and do what is required to be done. And if something needs to be happening tomorrow, it will happen. If it's not supposed to happen, then it won't. I always tell, wake up every day because God has woken you up. He has some task for you. Do His task for the day. At the end of the day, when you are submitting to God your achievements of the day, you offer it to God, place it at His feet and say, "God, here, I have done whatever best I could, and I offer it to you. And if you find me worthy, and if you need me tomorrow, wake me up. Otherwise, I'm okay. I will never wake up." And then God wakes you up. Then wake up with a smile. God still trusts you. He has some work for you. He has something for you to do for Him. And do it happily, joyfully. At the end of the day, close the day, offer it all back to God and say the same prayer. You gave me a day. I did what I could. I hope I have pleased you. And if you want me tomorrow, please wake me up. Otherwise, I have no agenda to wake up and do things tomorrow. I am free. But if you need me, please wake me up. With that attitude, if we live, where is the tension and anxiety and sorrow and misery? It is because of our own plans. I have to wake up tomorrow, that too at 3 o'clock. Why? Because I have so many things to do. That is your own plan. So you suffer with that samsara vahika, burden of the samsara. God is not reason and responsible for all your sufferings. If you live with this surrendered mind that I wake up only because God has woken me up and I will do what God wants me to do today, and I'll at the end of the day submit everything at God's feet and sleep again as if I'm sleeping in the lap of God. And if my father, mother, God, whoever you think of God as, wakes me up tomorrow and gives me another task, I shall happily do it. And if it does not wake me up, so be it. Many people ask me, something happens to you, what will happen to all these things? I tell them, is it all because of me in the first place? It is happening irrespective of my being here. And it will happen if it needs to happen, continue to happen. And if it's not supposed to happen, supposed to continue, it will stop. Have I lost things or have I gained things? No, both of them do not appeal to me. For the ocean in which waves are formed, one wave is born, one wave dies. Big deal. What does the ocean lose? What does the ocean gain? That is the idea. Kya kva vriddhi? What do you gain by living a little longer? Or what do you lose? Kvacha va hanihi. What do you lose if you die today? Body will go, that's about. But chinmatra rupinaha, you are the self, aware, eternal. You don't die. Associate yourself with that idea. Identify yourself with that idea of the self and not with the idea of the body and mind and get panicked with every little twist and turn in life. Don't live like a fearful, afraid and frightened cat or mouse. You are a human being. You are fearless. You are the self. The lion cub who identified itself as the sheep was suffering with fear. The moment it realized it's a lion, it lost all the fear. Like that, the moment you realize you are not the body, you lose all the fear. But the moment you realize you are the body, all the fear will come back and sit on you and torture you and trouble you and never allow you to lead a peaceful, happy life. So stop thinking that you are responsible for everybody and everybody's welfare. Yes, you have children. Yes, you have grandchildren. Yes, you have dependents. But none of this is because of you. It happened to you, and if it unhappens to you also, it is okay. Don't get too emotional about it. Sometimes you may sound like rude. How come I am in trouble? You are my father. You are not bothered about my trouble. He said, I am bothered about it, but I am not overtly emotional about it. That's all. I can give you an objective approach and decent solution as per my understanding. But beyond that, you don't expect me to sit with you and shed tears like you are doing right now. I won't do that because I am not affected by that internally. Externally, yes, whatever is in my mind as part of the responsibility of the father, the role that I have to play, I will do my best. But excessively, I won't get emotional and cry. That is why when children leave their parents, Amma, these parents are miserable because they are so attached. They cannot live without them, then they curse themselves, cry all life. So these are the attachments which are causing because you identify yourself with the body. With the body, there is loss and gain. With the self, there is no loss, no gain. So there is no question of you getting affected. I go to the shloka number 11, which is on page number 220. Again, this is a simple idea. We have discussed it a lot of times. It says, Tvai ananta mahambodau vishwavichi svabhavataha udetu vastamayatu nate vriddhi vakshatihi. The same idea we have heard earlier when Janaka said, I am the great big ocean and I have waves are like the world that come and go. I am neither losing anything nor gaining anything out of this. I am ever steady. This is my mantra, you know that this is what I use to steady myself. Mayananta Mahambodo Jagat Vichi Svabhavata Udetu Vastamayatu Name Vriddhi Nachakshati. This from a previous chapter. Here, Ashtavakra is in a way repeating what Janaka said and re-emphasizing that you are that great ocean and all this world, Vishwa, Vichihi, they are like the waves in you. Good days, bad days, happy days, sad days, these are all waves in the ocean. So, and by nature it comes and goes, Swabhavataha. Nobody makes them come and nobody makes them go. You think I will control my destiny, I will make things happen, I will only have happy times, I will avoid all the sorrow. You think you are in control of things? No. The only thing you are in control is whom to associate yourself with, the waves or the ocean. Associate with the ocean, identify with the ocean, let the waves come and go. Identify with the self, let the world come and go. Then he says, Udetu Vastamayatu, like the waves rise and fall, but the ocean neither loses or gains anything out of it. Ocean is ocean. The rise of the waves is also part of the ocean, the fall of the waves is also the ocean. So ocean is always same, it is not increasing or decreasing. Likewise, be the self. The self, Ekatma Sarva Bhuntantaratma, which is permeates everything and everyone. And you never lose or gain. If a few people die in this world, you don't lose anything. And if few people are born, you don't gain anything. Yes, some titles you will gain. Now you become a grandfather, grandmother, father, mother. Some titles have come to you. But really as a self, you have not gained anything. You not gained anything. If I put this hall is a big hall, if I make multiple partitions and several rooms in it, each room will be called by some name. Have I gained some space or lost some space? No, space was the same. Rooms have been increased or decreased according to the walls. That is the idea. You don't identify yourself with the rooms, you identify with the space. Then what do you lose? Let there be a few more rooms here, let few more rooms be removed. Space is same. That idea is Shraddha. That belief that you are that and not these rooms and spaces and waves is the idea of our spirituality, which makes us fearless. When our scriptures say, Abhihi, 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 be fearless, be fearless. This is what it means. Be fearless doesn't mean that you develop some new martial arts skills and then you can beat anybody who comes your way. That is not the fearlessness we are talking. We are talking of fearlessness of this knowledge which makes us free of fear because we don't think we die. And that idea is to be firmly believed in. As I said, I can repeat in 100 ways, 200 shlokas, but if you don't have belief in what this is saying, you will not experience even an inch of all these things. It's all intellectual, nice to have ideas, but no good at the end of the day. It doesn't help because you'll go back to your rooms, your families, your children, your home and go back to the same old thing. And if the child cries, you will cry. If child smiles, you will smile. If you come to know some loved one is sick and dying, you will suffer. This will be a way of life all through. If you don't rise above these attachments and think of yourself as the ocean of consciousness in which so many existences happen and so many existences unhappen or disappear. So many are born, so many die. It's a part of life. When Bhagwan's sister lost her husband at a young age, she went to him and told, this is what is happening. He said, death and birth are the part of this game, right? If there is no death and birth, then how will I entertain myself, he said. He's saying from the point of view of the highest self. So how do I entertain myself if there is no death and birth? Imagine people are only born and they don't die at all. What will happen to this world? It's a part of life, he said. To his own sister, he told on her face. It's a part of life. Take it. Accept it. No, you are God, you revive. No arguments. Sister also is like that. Okay, whatever you say. Because they're so detached. So detached. But we, so attached. Once a lady went to Gautam Buddha. She had lost her child. So with the dead body of the child in her arms, she went to Buddha who had come to the village and told, I have heard you are a great Jnani, yogi and this and that. Please revive my child. It has died. Buddha said, of course I will do it, but you have to do one thing in return for me. He said, what? You to go to the house of anyone in the village in whose house there has never been a death, and bring me a handful of seeds, mustard seeds from such a house. And once you get me that handful of mustard seeds, I will definitely bring back your child to life. She, in her motherly eagerness, went home to home, door to door, asking, is there a house where no death has ever happened? I want a handful of mustard seeds from that house to save my child. Every household said, what are you asking? How is it possible that never a death has happened in any household? Somebody would have died at some point in time. So she comes back empty handed. And then Buddha says, this is the truth of life. Just because your child died young, you feel, oh, it doesn't deserve to die. He's died too young. Should have lived for 100 years, coughed his way to death. Then it would have been right. But that is not the way. She says, anything can happen anytime. So accept that as the part of your life and then don't get affected by it. Accepting and affected is no good. Knowing that self is what it is. And there is nothing you can, nobody dies. It's a wave in the ocean which has come and just gone. For that reason, you don't get affected. Unless you develop this deep faith, as I said, every small shake in life will going to throw you off balance. And yes, losses will happen. Who said that? That's why I told very clearly. Coming to a guru or coming to an ashram or coming to a spiritual master does not guarantee your life is going to be bed of roses. There won't be any thorns. No, it doesn't. It only guarantees that whether there are roses or thorns, you will know how to deal with it. You will know how to go through life without getting affected. That's all can be guaranteed. Beyond that, there are no guarantees. And this guarantee is also has pre-terms and conditions, which is if you are sincere enough to have faith and believe in these teachings. If you don't have that faith, then this guarantee is also not there. You are on your own. That is the truth. So don't believe in these ideas of, unnatural or supernatural things or miraculous things. If it happens, so happens. That's a part of your fate or destiny of the person whom you are dealing with. But your effort should be to develop this kind of equanimity which comes from the knowledge of the self and firm belief that knowledge will happen only to those who truly believe in it. One more shloka I will take up is a 12th shloka in similar tone. Tat chinmatra ruposi nate bhinnam midam jagat ata kasya katham kutra heyo padeya kalpana. He asks 3 questions. Katham, kasya and kutra. Kasya means whose loss. Katham means how it is. And kutra means where it is. So what he's saying, oh dear one, Tat, Chinmatra Ruposi, you are the self, you are the indestructible awareness, consciousness. And you are not different from this world because this world is also your projection only. What is a dream after all? Dream is a part of the dreamer. If there is no dreamer, there is no dream. Likewise, there is no world if you do not exist. All the trees, birds, houses, humans in the dream are whose creation? Are dreamer's creation. The one who is sleeping is creating these things. So those people who are living in that dream, when were they born? How were they born? So also when they disappear, dream ends, all the people of the dream disappears. And when did they disappear? How did they disappear? Where did they disappear? These are the questions he's asking. So if the world has disappeared or you have lost something in the world, it is like losing something in the dream. You only created that and you only have engulfed it back, merged it back. Likewise, these relations, these ideas of mine, thine, all these are your own creation. You are a part of everything. So you don't lose anything because you are everything. You don't lose anything, he's saying. Like when you gold is melted into a bangle is looking very beautiful. Somebody wears it on the in the hand. Then it is melted and made into a chain. Somebody wears it around the neck. Next, it is melted and made into rings. Somebody wears this around the fingers. You are only gold, you are only the ring, the chain, or the bracelet, armlet, whatever. What is the loss? When was the loss? To whom was the loss? If the bangle is melted and made into a necklace, what was lost and what was gained? Yes, bangle was lost and necklace was gained. But did the gold lose anything is the question. Because gold only was everything. So you are that gold. You are not the necklace and bangles. You are not these forms and names. You are the self-consciousness in which all this exists. You are the ocean in which all the waves exist. You are the space in which all the buildings exist. Likewise, you are that in which everything exists. If something is lost, nothing is lost to you. If something is gained, nothing is gained by you. Don't get deluded by these losses and gains in life, because these are all kalpana. Heya upadeya kalpana, he says. Heya means giving up. Upadaya means receiving. Both are your imagination. In a dream, if something new happens, nothing new really happened. In a dream, something is lost, nothing really is lost. Likewise, this world itself is like swapna, is a dream-like thing. Whatever is happening here is just in your imagination. In fact, it is made of you only. Those dreams are made of your own thoughts. You don't lose anything. You don't gain anything from the losses and gains of the world. So, because you are that, you are the gold, you are the bangle, you are the necklace, you are the anklet. You are everything made of it. Your true essence is gold. So, forms may change, but gold is not lost, or gold is not gained by changing the forms. So this world is also you only. Everything is consciousness, awareness. When we are aware of something, only it exists. If it is not in awareness, it does not exist. Go back and read Schrodinger's cat experiment. In your awareness, only truth exists. If you are not aware, there is no. Suppose one day one Swamiji was asked, you built up such a big empire. What if you die tomorrow? What will happen to these people? He said, how does it matter? After I die, I don't exist for them, they don't exist for me. So how does it matter, he said. How does it matter to me? I don't exist anymore, they don't exist for me, because my existence is the reason why they exist for me. If I don't exist, how does it matter who exists or who does not exist? I am anyway free. That is the idea of these jnanis. You will say, no, you may die, but we are all alive, we have to deal with the life. That is your problem. I am not responsible for it. Yeah, till I was around, I was responsible for it. I did what I needed to do. Now I am dead and gone. To you, I am dead. To me, you are dead. Because I am out of your awareness and you are out of my awareness. We don't exist for each other anymore. That clarity these jnanis have. That's why they can never get attached and entangled. That's why they never stay in one place also. Because if they stay in one place, not that they will develop attachment. People will develop attachment to them. That is a hurdle in the path. Therefore, they don't stay in one place for too long. Only one night they are allowed to stay in one place. Otherwise, they have to keep moving. Because if they stay in one place, either they will develop roots and develop attachment to the place and people, or the people may develop attachment. Unless your guru said so that you stay and do this, that's a different matter. Otherwise, jnanis are not supposed to stay in any one place. They are supposed to always parivrajaka. They should keep moving. You remember that Vasantavat Loka Hitam Charantaha, like the spring season that comes and goes, these people keep moving around. They don't stay in one place. That is the nature of the Gyanis. Why? Because they are not attached to anybody, anything. And nobody can entice them with any great ideas. You stay here, I'll build you a bungalow. You stay here, we'll build you a temple. You stay here, I'll give you so many other comfortable things. They are not attached. Live in the world, but be unaffected by it. Let the boat be in the water. The water should not enter the boat. That extent only. So even if it's the closest relation, your own kith and kin, child born of you, with everybody you have to have same kind of unattached relation. You be involved in their welfare and do what needs to be done today, and that's it. After that, they are on their own. Beyond that, you should not develop any expectations from anyone, because if you develop, you will only suffer. They will not suffer, you will suffer. So for your own happiness, please don't get involved. Identify yourself with the self and practice this mantra, I am. I am means, that's it. I am what mother? No. I am father? No. No attributes, no qualifications, no qualities. Just cut it there. I am. Just keep meditating. And Nisargadatta Maharan, illiterate BD maker can get it, then everybody can get it, right? So just practice that I am mantra.